Oh, welcome to Sonya Podcast. Oh my God, another school shooting. I could not believe. I'm gonna let y'all hear the school shooting. I'm gonna let y'all hear what Whoopi Goldberg has to say. Then I'll tell y'all my view on this.
And then there are the survivors. It's a brand new video taken by Good Samaritan. You see students running across a busy street to escape. One running into the adult's arms right there. Jason Hoffman took that video. He stopped traffic to help the kids escape. Jason, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. Can you please talk about the scene of the shooting and how you knew something was wrong, why you did what you did?
Well, I was just happened to be in the area, and I heard and just tried to flee the area. As I was going down the road to get away from the gunshots, I see police everywhere, and a woman jumping out in front of my car waving her arms. I noticed there's children behind her, and I put two and two together at that moment, and it just hit me really hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you know what was going on and what was going through your head?
I had no idea at the time what was going on. I didn't know if it was like a police chase that ended up in a shootout. It was when I saw the teacher come out of the woods and the kids behind her that my heart sunk, and I was hoping that it had nothing to do with school. But of course we found out later on that it did. And no, I didn't have any idea what was going on until it broke on the news while I was sitting there surrounded by the police still.
Were you able to speak to anyone there in traffic or hear anyone? Can you take us through that? What were they saying if you heard anything?
Yeah, there were people started to show up at the school that were friends, family of some of the staff, some of the victims. They were sharing their concerns, their worry. People were standing there crying. The kids got across the street to the other side, and the police saw that they escaped from the woods and came over and actually brought them to a safe place. So once they were safe, we felt a little bit better about that.
They escaped from the woods?
Yes, they came through. The church is up on a big hill surrounded by woods, and they came all the way down the hill to the road and jumped out in a 4-lane highway, basically in the road there. And so I stopped the car immediately. We jumped out. The people to the left of me stopped, get out. And once they see these kids crossing the road, everybody stopped and got out and made sure they were safe.
The Constitution is very clear. Scalia changed the meaning of what the Constitution says. Well, Scalia changed it. I have to have a license to drive. It's not a compromise. We don't discuss it. You either get a license or you go to jail. So to me, you want to have 70-11 guns? We need to know that. We need to know what you got. It's not get all guns off the street. It's do it. Those guns. There are certain guns you have. I don't have a tank. I can't go and buy a tank. I can't buy a flamethrower. Can you buy that? Can you buy a gun? I can't buy any of those. None of the AR-15s have no use in normal daily life. None. And again, I don't say give up all your guns. I don't know why you have to have 50-11 of them, but maybe you do. But I want to know that you've got them. Because I want to be sure that I'm aware of what's going on in my periphery. And if you're not willing to do that, then we all have a problem. Telling people to put arms schools doesn't work. Talk about Uvalde if you're not sure how that went down. Talk about what kids you're dealing with. These are our kids. They may not be your kids, but they're my kids. They're your kids. They're somebody's kids. What the hell?
So y'all heard Whoopi. I totally agree with her. Now, I was listening to so many news reports about the school shooting. I was confused on a lot of things. And here's one that confused me. The young transgender that did the shooting was getting counseling from the pastor of the school, right? And she winds up killing his child. And then one of the reporters made a statement, well, maybe if he was there, she would have killed him instead of his child. Then the question that I had, that was in my head, was if the transgender was getting counseling from the pastor, what made her want to harm him or anyone else in any way? That was one question. The fact that they also stated that they had, the transgender had gotten weapons, gotten guns, and illegally. Let's just say illegally, because my mind is like really right all over the place right now. I'm with Whoopi. We have to go and have license for guns. Before we can get a gun, we have to have a license. So why is it so easy for young people to actually get guns? So those was the two questions in my head. Is like, what made this child go and shoot up this school, kill the baby of the person who was supposed to be helping them, and other children, other people? And why is it so easy for young people to get weapons? And I can't, I done did so, if you follow me or you listen to my podcast, I done did so many school shootings, and I'm just glad that my children is out of school. But for the children that are in school, and not all of my children are out of school. I still have a child that's in school. But as of this moment, she's going to be homeschooled. Because I cannot worry about her going to school and something so terrible and heinous as these crimes has been. Because I'm just not that forgiving. I'm gonna be honest. I am not that forgiving. I don't know how I would be able to handle if these things was to happen. I'm a true believer in the Bible, where I truly believe in eye for an eye. That's the Bible said, an eye for an eye. That's what I truly believe in. And I know you shouldn't, but there's a point in time where it's just enough. And you get tired of saying enough. You can say enough in 50 different languages. And it's still never enough. We still hear these same stories over and over and over and over again, to where if people don't ask me what I think about it, or if someone don't come to me and say, well, you heard something, I don't even listen to it no more. But then you have to listen to certain things where your mind has to be like, oh, this is draining. This is depressing. You want to, and then you want to have these thoughts like, is it ever going to stop? Is these kids ever safe? Is anyone ever safe? Is the teachers, faculty, whoever, is they ever safe? Because a lot of these teachers, I know they're in fear too. Like every day they have to pray to God when they get to school. I know they are praying, driving in their cars, going to the school because they don't even know if they're going to come home. I don't know. I agree totally with Whoopi. It has to stop. It really does. And if it's not, I'm with her. Then y'all need to really let somebody know what we working with. Like, you need to let everyone know what they up against. Because no one wants to be unprepared or off guard. And if that's the case, if we all going to have to live like we're on guard, then we're all going to really have to live like that. That was just my thoughts on this school shooting. Y'all know always... The cases I've been covering for the last weeks has been so draining to me. And a lot of them has to do with children. So that even drains me more because I have a soft spot for children. Not so much for adults, but for children and elderly. And I know that's bad to say, but it's not. It's how I truly, really feel. So... yeah, this is just how I feel. And I'd like to thank you for listening to Sunny Podcast. Please give a 5-star review on Speaker, Spotify, Bean, Apple, wherever this podcast. I appreciate you. Call me at sv766752@gmail.com. Go to my website, http://wordpress.com. Follow my son Sounds on Instagram. He got an album out on Spotify and Apple. Follow Female Reform. They have a vintage store in New York. And follow TJBUCALLAIN. She have a book called Black Girl in Orange. And follow King's Flex on SoundCloud. He have an album out on SoundCloud. And have a blessed night. And be safe.